Hello everyone, I'm going to explain this chart which is very important for our upcoming NEET UG examination. Then if you remember this part, then you may suspect of one question from this section and you are going to have it. First of all, this chart is differentiate between the five different species organism like Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae, and animalia. You know, here the first difference is created is cell type. In the Monera, you know that Monera is a prokaryotic species. Monera just belong to the bacteria, and the bacteria is a prokaryotic species. And next, all the things like and next all the four like a Protista, fungi, plantae, and animalia, they all are eukaryotic. Like a Protista is eukaryotic, fungi and plantae and animalia, all these all are eukaryotic. And next is cell wall. You know that the cell wall of Monera is non-cellulosic. Non-cellulosic, it means that it does not made up of cellulose. So it is made up of polysaccharide and amino acids. In Protista, the Protista don't have a cell wall, but in some species it may have. Then you basically just remember that Protista don't have cell wall, but in the biology, never nothing is permanent for anything. Then if Protista don't have a cell wall, but some species may have the cell wall. And here the fungi. In the fungi, the cell wall is present, but a specific characteristic of this have chitin in their cell wall. In the plantae, of course, the characteristic feature of the plant is having the cell wall, and this cell wall is made up of cellulose. In Animalia, it don't have a cell wall. The characteristic feature of the animal cell, it don't have cell wall, and here's a without any exception. You know that Protista present in some Protista don't have cell wall, but in some species of Protista it have cell wall, but in Animalia it don't have cell wall. And next to the nuclear membrane in the Monera is absent, because what nuclear membrane the nuclear membrane present in that species which don't have nucleus. Like nucleus is present in Protista but don't it not present in any prokaryotic species. The Monera don't have a nucleus. Then nuclear membrane is not found in the Monera. Protista is a eukaryotic species, then nuclear present here. Fungi also present, and plantae and animalia the nucleus present. Next is body organization. You know what body organization means? Body organization, like how this body is organized. Like if you see the Monera, then it's body organization of cellular type. Protista is also cellular type. Fungi is multicellular and loose tissue. Like Protista is a single cell organism, the one cell represent its whole body, and Monera is one cell represent its whole body. But in fungi, you may find the many cells is clustered to form a fungi, and in a plantae same, like it form a tissue and organ. Like many cells is organized to form the tissue, and many tissue is organized to form an organ. Then its body organization like a tissue and organ type. In Animalia, it is a tissue, organ, and organ systems. Like first cell aggregate to form a tissue, then tissue aggregate to form an organ, and then further organ is combined to form an organ system. Then body organization of Animalia is like a tissue, organ, and organ system. This is an MCQ which is going to be asked. Then you may suspect one MCQ from this line, like what is the body organization in the different species in the Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae, and Animalia. Next is mode of nutrition. What is the mode of nutrition in the Monera? Then it is autotrophic. Autotrophic means it's synthesize their own food through the chemosynthesis and photosynthesis. And heterotrophic, that means the Monera is both autotrophic and heterotrophic organism. That means it can synthesize its own food by the chemosynthesis or photosynthesis. Chemosynthesis means it's just metabolize some chemical inside their body and find the ATP and generate energy for its normal functions. And photosynthesis means it's just use the sunlight to synthesize its food for sustains their perform their function. And heterotrophic means It's depend on the other organism for their food, saprophytic and parasitics. You know, saprophytic means saprophytics that depend on the other bodies, saprophytes, and saprophytes is that organism which depend on the other organism, but that organism is already dead. The saprophytic means if a fungi, if a monera is going to eat on the other organism, then this organism is already dead. And parasite means this organism is alive, and this monera is depend on this for the food. And the protista is autotrophic, and that means it synthesizes their own food with the help of photosynthesis. And heterotrophic, that means it synthesizes their own food, but here the chemosynthesis is not involved. This is the important point which may be differentiate in MCQ. The mode of nutrition in the monera is autotrophic, and it involves both the chemosynthetic and photosynthetic, but mode of nutrition in the protista, it is autotrophic and only photosynthesis. And heterotrophic, and you know that fungi is completely heterotrophic organism, that is saprophytic and parasitic. It is not autotrophic organism. Next is plant. The plant is completely autotrophic organism, that it synthesizes their own food with the help of light. If you see the animalia, then here the heterotrophic that depend on the other organism, it is holozoic and saprophytic. The holozoic, that means it's just engulf the whole organism, or saprophytic, like it depend on the other organism. Saprophytic, dead organism, it may eat the dead organism, or it may just swallow the whole organism. This is the important chart. They are never going to ask about the cell type, you don't need to remember this, but in this second line, like cell wall, the cell wall difference is created here, that the fungi cell wall present chitin is an important feature, that may be an MCQ. The nuclear membrane, this is not going to be asked in an exam. Body organization, they may ask the body organization, especially which is cellular, which is cellular, and which is tissue type, and which is organ system of organization. When you see the system, organ system, then you definitely go for the animalia. And here's the mode of nutrition. You must learn this chart, because mode of nutrition have a different varieties, different variation in the different organism. Then mode of nutrition must be the question for your competitive exam. Thank you for the listening me, and happy learning. I hope you are going to be doing the best in your NEET examination. All the best. If you like this video, please smash the like button and subscribe to my channel for the next update.